What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So, in this short video, I'm gonna go through um, change of character or so-called CHOCH. I'll explain what does it actually mean, what it indicates us, what's the difference between change of character and break of structure, how do I mark him out, and what do I use it with. So, without further ado, let's get to the charts. And as you can see, I am on Euro Canadian dollar on 1 hour time frame. And we had recently uh, broken this point of structure to the downside. Oops. um, so now we should find the order block, and we have this last bullish candle before the bearish move to the downside. So that's our order block, but since the next candle is within this bullish candle, we can refine it to this candle right here and then drop to 15 minutes to refine it even more. In this case, we have a perfect example of the bearish order block. It's the bullish candle, the last bullish candle before the bearish expansion. And as you can see, the price has approached the bearish order block quite correctively. So that's good. So before we get to the 1 minute time frame, the change of character is a possible trend change. So it indicates a possible reverse. In this situation right here, when we are approaching the bearish order block, we are constantly putting higher highs and higher lows. So in this situation right here, I'll be looking for a higher high to be liquidated. Then the price, rather than to mitigate the demand that is in control right now, I want to see it get broken so as the previous higher low, and then to retrace back to the newly created supply and to sell from there. So as you have probably understood, I use change of character with the supply and demand flip. So the supply gets broken, new demand gets created, and vice versa. The demand gets broken, the new supply gets created. So easily saying it's a liquidation that gives us the fuel to the move. So there is no big difference between break of structure and the change of character. So it's pretty much the same thing. I just got used to mark this out, and that's why I keep on using. I don't really change that. But if you are comfortable with marking the break of structure rather than change of character, it's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. So there is no reason to change because someone does. So you know what I mean. So now let's hop on 1 minute time frame, and as you can see, we have actually got into our supply zone. So what I will do now is that I want to show a bit of structure. As you can see, we are putting higher highs and higher lows. So these are the higher highs. These are the higher lows. here, here, and the last one here. So as I said, the change of character in this situation would be the liquidation of the higher high here, and then rather than respecting this demand zone, which is in control right now, we want to see this demand get broken and this high get broken as well. By get broken, I mean we want to see a candle closure below this point and below this point. So let's play the price forward. As you can see, we have mitigated now the demand, and then as you can see, we have closed below this high. So we now have broke this point of structure. So the change of character is now complete. So now we want to look for a supply that got the demand broken, that caused this big move to the downside. So this is here. This is our last candle before the bearish expansion. In this case, we can set a limit order just here and put our stop loss just above this line here. So in this case, we can even make it 3 pips. Put our target, just for this example, we will put our target at the low because that's not really important in this video. So we get tagged in, as you can see, and then we want to see this structural point get broken in order to put our stop loss either at break even or just above the high that caused the move to the downside and broke this point of structure. So now let's play the price forward. As you can see, we wicked it. There is no candle closure below just yet. So up to this point, I'm still not moving my stop loss, neither to break even nor above this high. And here, as you can see, we have broken this point of structure. We have closed below this line here. So now I can put my stop loss either at break even, just, to account for spread and commissions, or I can put just above this high. And then look for a potential scaling, which is not really looking like it's going to happen. But either way, we hit our take profit. So yeah, this is a perfect example of a change of character when we have a bearish order block and a bullish approach. So the same thing, it would have been in a bullish order block with a bearish approach. So we would have done something like this. Lower high. So up to this point, we would have wanted to see this low broken, and then the supply that caused the move to the downside, we want to see it broken as well. So it would have been something like this, then continuation. So it would have been like this. Liquidation of higher high and higher low. I'm sorry, lower high and lower low. and the retracement back to the demand for a further break of structure. So this one is a supply to demand flip. So from this point, we want to set our limit order, and you can forget about trading. Just, not to make yourself anxious. But as I said, since there is no big difference between break of structure and change of character, you may got used to mark this as a liquidity sweep and a break of structure. It's still 100% valid, so there is no reason, as I said, to change something in your strategy. So just a different word that pretty much means the same thing. This is our supply to demand flip. So yeah, I hope I answered the main questions. But the second part of this video is not going to be about the change of character. It will be rather about an extreme and a fresh order block. So as well, one of the most often asked question is whether you should take a sell or a buy from the extreme order block or a fresh one that broke the structure. So I hope you have seen a case study I published in the community chat, case studies. That was a great example of how the extreme order block broke the structure, and then the freshest order blocks were simply liquidated and used for the inducement to mitigate then the extreme order block and to continue in the direction it initially moved to. But in this situation, as you can see, we actually didn't sell from the extreme order block for one simple reason. Our extreme order block, which is here or here, didn't really cause a break of structure. So there is no reason for me to set a limit from only this order block, even though there is liquidity here that we want to see get taken out and swept. You know what I mean? We actually set our limit order from the freshest order block that caused the move to the downside, which has broken the previous higher low and the demand. But what I have recently have been doing often is that I have set two limit orders, one at the bottom of the extreme order block, and one at the bottom of the freshest order block. So in this case, it's like a win-win-lose situation for me, because if the first order block gets triggered, then I just cancel the second order block. I mean, if the first limit order gets triggered and then the price continues going into the direction I want it to go and I anticipate it to go, then I just simply cancel the order that I have on my second order block. If I get taken out of the freshest order block, I have still my limit order set on the either bottom of the order block or at the top of the order block. It depends on what order block we're talking about. So I still have it. I don't delete it just because it broke through the order block I was initially wanted to sell from or to buy from. and this way I lose 1%, but then I still gain more than 1% with my second order. And as I said, this is a win-win-lose. So in the third option, I lose 2%, and there is not a big loss for me because the strategy we're trading with, we can in one trade, you know, win more than 2%. This is not a big deal. So even after two losses, I can still look for the trade setup that I will definitely take. So yeah. Um, I hope this video was informative, and this time it was much shorter than my previous videos. And I hope now the change of character is not something that is confusing to you, more so something that you already have known, just didn't use. So yeah, change of character is a sign of possible um, trend change. So yeah, um, as I said, I'm really glad that you have watched this video up to this moment. If you have any questions or the uh, words of feedback that will help improve the content, or you have some another topics that I can and you want me to share with you my knowledge, um, you can all write that um, in the DMs to me, and I will try do that as soon as possible, as soon as I have the opportunity to do so. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope this video was once again informative, and now you don't have any questions left. So yeah, have a great day.